All right, thank you so much. Okay, so let's see the next question. I think Asma in here. Asma, you want to introduce yourself before we move on? Hello, Asma.
Hi everyone. Finally get to see you. Yeah,
Before
I mean
you
not in person.
I know you have questions, but before you ask, can you please introduce yourself? I know you're from Selangor, so introduce yourself and how do you find out about us? How long have you joined us, and how has it been so far with this Selangor Cawangan people?
Oh, they're very lively. Selangor people are very lively. We got like it's like suddenly we have our bunch of people together. Like suddenly we're not alone. So that's how I feel. Like okay, so I'm not in this alone. And then when Ken started to propose, I'm like, okay, there's a ray of light somewhere because I'm honestly frustrated. That's how I got to join you honestly because I'm frustrated and I want to do something about it. Because before this, I've never been in politics, never ever. I voted yes, but then after that, I leave it to those people who I think they know what they're doing. However, right now, I think they don't know what they're doing, and if you don't step up, who else gonna do it? Therefore, here I am.
Okay.
That's what I think. And thank you, Ken, for starting it.
You're welcome. I think I have to thank you back. Without you guys, I can't start anything, right? So, yes. Okay, what was your question for the leadership today?
Yeah, so I actually posted the question in the Google question sheet that you posted before. So let me ask you again. This aspiration, right? Okay, we started with something that we have a common goal. We need to fix situation. But however, usually party will tend to move when they form, and then when they started their movement, and suddenly everything goes like left and right. So how do you ensure that this won't happen to party science? Because otherwise we're gonna end up like the rest of the party that's already there. So how are you gonna make sure the aspiration how we started stay true in the coming future? So that's my concern, honestly.
This question is for Cawangan or for me?
For Chawangan and for you. So I want to hear from you as well, and also for Chawangan, maybe our guys, we're in one kapala. So, but from
Good.
you
So
first, yeah.
let's let Selangor answer it first. How do you make sure that our party remain on our feet and
Yes.
on our vision and our objective? How on a state level in Selangor do yeah, so you can Selangor can go first, and then after that I don't know, Afiq, you want to answer or Shafika? Yeah. So yeah, Selangor first.
Okay, anybody want to take it on
Selangor
behalf?
first.
I
Selangor,
guess
Selangor, I'm asking Selangor. Okay, go ahead.
No,
okay.
let's move.
I guess the most important agenda that we have to look at is define what are the things that we want to do, and from there only we know where we are, the direction that we are going, how to get everybody still interested 5-10 years down the road, or how whether we will deviate from our objective or not. That really depends on the members, because at the end of the day, a party can only move forward through the support of the members. And like Yvonne and Sadiq, you all mentioned earlier, we try to get we do things, try it in a more flat structured kind of way, so we get everybody's opinion. Everybody's opinion matters to us, and from there we try to come up with a consensus on the direction that we want to hit to.
Anyone wants to add anything?
So,
May I add a bit?
Sure.
It's important for us, since we are quite new, for us to look into what happened to other political parties and what are the problems. I think this is very easy to identify. What's the problem with AMNO? What's the problem with PKR actually when they started as early? It was very good and very, Aspiration Party, and what's happening to past, and what are their mistakes. This we need to until. One thing that I've just, a couple of days from coming in from Ken for BAP, one question is BEP going to dictate Selangor Cawangan, or can we actually, use our own creativity and to plan our things and all that. I'm very happy with what DEP answered, that we are free to think. We have young minds here. We are not those political parties like UMNO, where they already have those, people and groups. And if an intellectual want to join a politics, is almost they will shy away from this kind of groups. So this is very important to identify. Why the other parties, why we are unhappy with the current political scenario at the moment. That's what I look at it at this time.
Okay, from our side, I think our mission and our vision of the party is quite clear for now, which is we want policies to be evidence-based, if you want me to put it into one sentence.
Yeah.
So that's for far too long, when we have our political decision and policies being made, is usually being made not in favor of the results. It's more into like, all right, how do I please certain group of people? And how do I not piss off certain group of people? So I think our party moving on is to let the people know, and to let especially our members know, this is our core values, number one. Number two, we have a few policies that we will push as soon as we get the opportunity. Okay, being frontline politics to go in right away is for that's the best and ideal. If not, we will still push for this policy through all means possible. Number one is guaranteed monthly income. Number two is having a trickle up. We now try to make it easier to understand for the public. We call it trickle up economies. Money must go to the people, to the hands that need it, not to the hands that hoard it. All right. So when the money goes to the bottom, the monies and these are the money that we will be spent into something more useful. We cannot pass it to the top and then make our bottom back for it. This is not the kind of economy that we want in the long term. So if that if that is currently none of the party fighting for, we will be there, even though if we think that we're committing a political suicide. Okay, so I hope all the members are here with me and agree with me that if in the long term, this is our goal, to make sure that we voice out what is not being voiced out by other political parties right now. Number one, evidence-based policies. Number two, a more trickle-up economy. And third, I think we also want to talk at a more sustainable development. Malaysia is such a beautiful place that we have been destroying, left, right, and center. So our trees are gone, our beaches are gone, our animals are gone. And then for the past 60 years, after destroying our entire, in the name of development, have we really developed? Are people richer right now? Okay, so I think sustainable development, GMI, and also a trickle-up economy will be the center of a discussion for the first round right now, until we push it all the way into the parliament, if we have to do it. So I think if these are the mission, mission, and objective, if we all stay clear on here, there are many ways of doing it. Like what Sadiq said, there are creative ways of doing it. So I hope this is clear for my side. And how about Shafiqah, Afiq?
I think Mike and Ken pretty much said what I wanted to say. But just to add on a little bit, I think it's also important, like, within science, it begins with the self, where you have to keep reminding yourself that whatever you're doing it for the greater good. You're doing it for Malaysians. So even if the evidence points to this particular policy being good for the country, we can't deny that maybe there will be certain people who are like, oh, this thing makes me kind of uncomfortable due to certain personal biases. So those are the kind of things that we want to put aside, our own personal biases, our own personal agendas or whatsoever, because whatever we are doing, we have to always remind ourselves that we are doing it for the greater good. So it begins with the self, and also I think with the flat hierarchy, that we currently have in the party, just don't be afraid to speak out how you feel. If you think someone is going out of line, if you think someone is saying something that isn't true to our core values, then you can just speak up. It doesn't matter whether it's just someone that's in the Chawangan, or if they're in the BEP, you can just say it. So I think this, now that we are only like 3.5 weeks old, starting out with, we can start the culture of holding each other accountable, not like right now, since we're new, instead of waiting down the line. So if it's a culture that we have established right from the beginning, then hopefully future members will also follow. So regardless whether, I mean, we're not going to be BEP forever, and there are going to be like other people to replace us. So these are the kind of core values that we want others to be able to get as well. So I think it starts with the self, and also being able to hold ourselves and other people accountable as well.
Yeah, so once you join the party, there is no youth wing, there is no women's wing, there is no whatever wing. Once you're in, we have to work, and we work together on the same level. The access to leadership is open to Afiq the same way as it's open to Sadiq or Asma, or even Darius who just joined us. So we do not encourage any, any red tapes and also bureaucracy. So by the time a young person who wants to climb a party, by the time he become party leadership, he probably in retirement age already to go through all the steps. Yeah, so we don't have a youth party. So if you join us, you are as equal as whoever who founded the party even. The only difference is the founding party has a nicer membership number. That's all. Yeah.